Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mind Body Alchemy. Hey, Oka. Hope everybody's doing awesome today. Let's wait till we get some more people on. I got Nick over here rolling a blunt. We about to start smoking here pretty soon. Hope everybody's having a great full moon so far. Look outside, look into the sky. It's beautiful. Hey, Lita, what up? Hey, Alex. All right, well, let's go ahead and bring this bad boy on. Alex, you want to be in my video? Of course you can be in my video. Mosquitoes. All right, we're going to get Alex in here in just a minute. What up?
Hello.
How you doing, brother?
Good, and yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Having a good night so far. How about yourself?
Oh man, I just finished working, so I'm super tired.
I feel that.
I'm trying to find a comfortable position for my phone. Okay, I think I can work out.
Hey, you look sexy right there. That's
I
good.
look sexy right here.
Yeah, right there. You look good.
Nice.
Well, so jumping off the gate, I just want to get started. I want to introduce you and just kind of tell people a little bit about you before we dive into this a little bit. So Alex is an adept with the Rosicrucian Society. He's an ordained apocryphal minister. He is a Reiki master. So just a long list of things in the esoteric world and magical world. But beyond that, I'm going to tell people a little bit about my experience with you, and just so people could have a little bit more personality to it. So I was really into like mysticism and like Buddhism and Zen, and I was raised Christian, and I wasn't really into the whole magic stuff. I thought there was I was kind of scared of it. There's like an internal fear or something, so I never really messed with it. I got into the Jewish Kabbalah, things like that, but I kind of touched on it. It wasn't until I met Alex to where he really opened my mind to allow me to see the true nature of what magic was. And ever since we met, I've been on this path, and I can't really say enough thanks for helping me in this path and like giving me some light and extending it to me on this journey.
Yeah, you didn't even know what you're getting into.
No, I had no idea. Oh man.
First of all, can I say like thanks for using that picture? I'm like, where the hell did you find that picture?
Oh, I had to find your good angles, man. And I remember that was the first picture I saw when I looked you up on Facebook. So that was the most memorable one way back in the day. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use this one. This is the one I remember this guy from.
So this is Alex and his holy guardian angel right next to him.
Yeah. Oh, is that
okay, guys?
Is that what that is? Is that what the smiley face is?
Yeah. Okay, guys. So I do have an accent. So if there is something you don't understand, feel free to tell me to repeat something. No offense here. So anyway, my name is Alex, Carl, and everybody. Thank you for having me. And we're going to talk about, like you said, I'm part of the Rosicrucian Society, specifically of the Order of the Rose Cross and of the Winged Sun, which goes by Sodaltas Rosa Crucis e Soli Salate. I started at a young age, but I really admire this group, guys, for a lot of reasons. Mainly, there is a lot of young audience, and I believe that this is very healthy to get into spirituality in a very young age. That's because it allows you to form a very healthy foundation about your life and your belief system, and be able to take it and grow with it. That can be very, for you as a single person, to your family, to your kids, to your society around you. Like Carl said earlier, to be able to receive the light and extend it around you. This is one of the main things as a Rosicrucian, to be able to do some good around you. One of the Rosicrucian tenets is to heal for free, and healing comes in many forms. So yeah, I'm really happy about this group. A lot of young audience that I think getting into spirituality and having a sure foundation that you're working with yourself and understanding yourself is very important. Discipline is very important. So I guess we're talking yesterday with Carl, and we're trying to decide for what we want to talk about. And I see a lot of people beating around the bush about magic, calling it spirituality and energy and all that, and psychology. So we're going to talk a little bit about magic, what magic is, ceremonial magic. This is what we do in within the Rosicrucian societies, and how that helps you as a person and how it reflects your psychology. Long story short, magic or ceremonial magic is psychology. But instead of going to a talk therapist, you do ceremonial magic because it's way cooler.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to dress up on a robe and wear weird things and just go around and doing things on the air? Before I start, I mean, Carl, do you have anything specific, any specific questions that you want to ask me?
Mainly, like your history, just a little bit about your history, and then what is magic in your perspective, like in your definition? Those are the main questions I have.
So I was a very devoted Christian. I'm Greek, by the way. So in Greece, we are mainly Greek Orthodox. So I was the little altar boy going every Sunday at the church. Just because I always found religion, and at that point Christianity, because that was my only exposure, very interesting. There was something behind it that I found it very attractive, mainly that there is something higher than me. So at the age of 13, I started looking around. I had always that preconceived notion that there is magic. I didn't know what magic is. I just knew as a kid there is magic and I can do magic. I would walk to my school and I would start invoking randomly and just come up with my own little things, being in elementary school. Anyway, as the years passed, I started looking more into it. Finally, I got a computer, dial-up connection. Remember the noises with the modem? Yep. In 1997 was my first computer. And the first thing I did, actually Google existed, I think, or Yahoo. I put in magic, and something came up about magic from a Greek website. And it had magic as in witchcraft and paganism and Wicca. So I decided to go to one of those meetings. It was supposed to be 18 and over, but you know, Greece never follows the rules. So I saw that anyway. It was a really coffee night. Long story short, I got really involved, got to meet people, start talking about magic. I was so happy. I'm like, this is my universe now.
It's real. It's real.
It's real.
Yes.
It's real. Other people talking about it. Yes, some people practice. I'm like, that's amazing. But yes, I had that anxiety about stuff, and I started reading about religions. Paganism got my attention immediately, especially talking about Wicca and Druidism and feminine spirituality, all these things that I didn't grow up with. Yeah, feminine spirituality it's not a very strong aspect of Christianity. It is an aspect of it, but not that strong. Magic, even though they do magic, they don't really talk about it. So I got into that. I started with Wicca. I got into a coven. I started getting trained by a coven in Greece. I became a high priest over there in one of the traditions, Gardnerian tradition. Then I joined a Masonic order. It's Memphis Mizraim, so it has more esoteric feel than Scottish Rite or Blue Lodge. It's called Egyptian Masonry, and that was my really first esoteric community that I joined. I got really excited. After that, I got involved with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and that's what I'm still doing with the Sodalta's Rosa Cruz is a Soli Salate. It's a Golden Dawn system. It's just they don't use the Golden Dawn name just to avoid politics. You know how that goes in esoteric communities. And here I am, still practicing and doing my own work and weaving my own path.
Right.
And that's my backstory, Carl.
Sweet. Now, in your opinion, like, what is magic?
So, magic. Pretty much anything. There is nothing supernatural about magic, so to speak. Magic is very grounded. So the way I'm practicing magic, pretty much every conscious thought, it's magic. Meaning that when we focus into something and we put emotion behind it, we activate, we trigger we trigger that manifestation to happen. So if I say, stupid example, I want bananas, and I activate my feelings about how much I love bananas, then when I get home, I might find bananas. Somebody in my family maybe got bananas. It doesn't matter how it happened, but I found bananas at the end of the day. So the intention that you put forward, you cannot just be like, oh, I wish I meet a nice person. Yes, you can just say these are empty words. Putting emotion behind words and emotion towards your intention, your focus, what you're focusing with your mind, is what's going to activate that, and it's going to make that manifestation to take place. Magic is about manifesting. You manifest things, you make things happen, but it requires intention and requires emotion. Without intention, nothing can happen in life. Very simple. Just by talking about intention. Yeah, like law of attraction. Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's not about just desiring something. Desire has a very low vibration. You really have to will something. And you cannot will too much either. You either will it or not. You either really want it, you need it, or not. It's not just a desire. I would like chocolate. I would like to have a chocolate. I like chocolate. Yes, it has to be that important that the force that you're going to send out is going to have an impact that's going to make that manifest. So this is my basic definition of magic. So if I'm doing something conscious every day, yes, the meal that I'm eating, my meal that I eat is not just a meal. I see it as a spiritual nourishment. Yes, and even no matter what tradition you follow, even if you're a Christian or whatever, I'm a Christian, obviously, Rosy Christian. Even when you do a prayer, you're setting an intention out there. Yeah, have you heard the? Well, I'm sure you have, but the saying of, "Oh my God, this food tastes amazing," and the mommy will say, "Yes, because I made it with love."
Yeah.
But that is true. That puts positive energy in what people do. It has an intention and it has a feeling. I'm cooking for my kids because I love them and I want to put love into it. And it was an experiment that was done with water. One was water that was just taken out, and they look at the molecules of the water. They weren't very nicely shaped. And then there was a molecule of water molecules of water that they were projecting positive energy into the water. And the molecules were perfect. I'm sure you can find somewhere online. So this plays a lot of role. Same thing with our everyday life, yes? The way that we interact with each other. If I have, let's say, Carl, and I'm really not interested in talking to him, and he's just going blah, 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 his whole energy is trying to encompass me. So I'm stepping back, yeah? So immediately I'm creating a wall. Everything is about exchange of energy, no matter what you do. If there is no exchange of energy, there is no manifestation. If Carl and I were having conversation, we're really getting into it, we're having an exchange of energy. And as this exchange happens and we transmit energy towards each other, it grows. And that's how we grow as people too. And that's what sex is. Yeah? Sex, the same thing. It's an exchange of fluids. And it can go to a higher level, yes, alchemically, because now there is also an exchange of energy. And that energy builds up and builds up, builds up. You can send now that energy towards with a specific intention to manifest something. It's like charging it. Now it comes to life. Did I answer the initial question? I forgot what the question was.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. And I like how you were talking about how putting the walls between each other. And I think that's like perfect for talking about in this group because we've got a lot of empaths in this group. And being empathic is a huge part of magic, right? It's being able to understand
Can be.
and connect with people on a deeper level.
Yeah, and you don't have to be empathic to be very good in magic or ceremonial magic for invocation, evocations, whatever, Enochian magic, whatever that might be. But it helps. Where you're empathic, and somebody else is really absorbing your energy, I mean, you need to be a little bit trained, one, to be grounded, and one, to set your own limits.
Yeah.
I'm working, and I'm in touch with, every 45 minutes, I'm in touch with a different person. No, I'm not a masseuse. But every 45 minutes, with a different person. I have to set my own limits to my energy. Otherwise, at the end of the day, I'm going to be drained.
Yep.
Yeah. So, ceremonial magic. There are different forms of ceremonial magic, and there are different purposes of ceremonial magic. It could be, one is to invoke, yes, balance of energy. You have ceremonial magic to invoke different forces around you. You have ceremonial magic to invoke demons, to invoke angels. You have ceremonial magic to spiritually advance. You have ceremonial magic to manifest something, and so on and so forth. By ceremonial magic, we mean that, and that's usually a high form of magic, that there's a specific process of doing something. You're going to cast your circle, you're going to use specific items, consecrated items. You're going to do A, B, C to get D. So it's a formula. Yes? Low magic is more in the spur of the moment, and that's where you use your own energy or astral energy to create a manifestation. That's when, if you do low magic, you're usually going to feel a little bit more drained at the end, and then you're going to have to do different energetic exercises, such as grounding and centering, to be able to recharge yourself.
Yeah.
When you're doing ceremonial magic, you are connecting with the highest force that's out there. You're becoming one with the universe. You're channeling that energy into your body. You're forming an intention, and you project that energy towards that intention.
So it's like.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
I see.
So, for example, in the SRC, part of the preparation for spiritual development is basic ceremonial magic, and by that we mean invocation of the four elements, zodiacal invocations, planetary invocations. And invoke means I'm calling something from the outside to me.
So all of these things have like their own specific energies, right? And you're pulling from these things and getting to know these forces.
Yes, every energy has its own signature. So if I do an invocation of Taurus, it's gonna have a different feeling and different manifestation. Is if I'm for invoking Virgo or Cancer or Scorpio or Venus or Mercury.
Okay.
Yeah. So every energy has its own signature.
Okay.
So, for example, we prepare. It's all about, if we're talking about spiritual development, using magic and ceremonial magic for your spiritual development, first you have to prepare your vehicle. Your body is your vehicle. Yes, it's the temple of the Holy Spirit. So you have to create the right conditions for yourself to allow something more of a pure form to descend into your body, and also your body and your etheric aspects of your body to be able to withhold that kind of frequency that you're invoking.
So,
yes.
So you're talking about like alchemy now, right? So you're talking about that's kind of.
No, that's ceremonial magic as well. Because,
okay.
For example, the Golden Dawn system that we practice, the first objective is knowledge and conversation with your holy guardian angel. Mm-hmm. Yes, which is a practice of the Abramelin operation. Now, somebody could go and start immediately doing that, but if a preparation you haven't done a preparation, people can get psychotic. Things can go wrong. Your body and your etheric levels, your body of light, your energetic levels cannot withhold that frequency, that amount of energy of your holy guardian angel. So it will not be that fruitful. So all this preparation and trying to balance yourself, and likely posted on one of the comments to get rid of your karmic influences, Yes, this is part of the preparation, purification, consecration. You always try to balance yourself. So when we're doing basic invocations, such as elemental invocations, zodiacal and planetary invocation, this acts as a balancing aspect. You're trying to recreate your whole astrological chart, yeah? Because as we know, that the time that we're born, some things are in favor, some things are not in favor. So now we're trying to take our chart out and trying to balance all those forces around us.
Okay, so you're saying every day we're impacted by these forces unconsciously, and the goal of magic is to put yourself back in control of how these forces are affecting you.
Yes, correct. And we can explain that from different perspectives, from alchemy, from Gnosticism, from magic. We can go through different angles to approach that. For example, if we talk from a perspective of Gnosticism, I don't know how familiar everybody is with Gnosticism, but all these planetary forces, all these forces around us, as we know them in our universe, are the archons. The archons, they're like secretly evil forces. They control you. This is what we call fate. To become a free human being, you have to break free of those forces that we call fate. You have to become a free man. Once you realize your position in the universe and your freedom, that's when you're really getting to know thyself, like they say on the Greek temples. Until then, you're always going to feel that, oh, why did this go wrong? I didn't plan it that way. You know what I mean? It's always other things influencing you. From a Kabbalistic perspective, this is our nefesh. It's our animal soul. Because in Kabbalah, you have your gaf, which is your body. You have the nefesh, which is your soul. You have the ruach, which is the spirit. And then you have the nesama, which is the supernal triangle. So from a Kabbalistic perspective, you are trying to purify your nefesh. You're trying to redo your whole animal soul. So now your nefesh is not dragging you down into the negativity, but it allows you to rise above and connect with your ruach. Yeah. So that's, again, it's a process of purification, of releasing, like with Gnosticism, becoming free, getting yourself purified. From a ceremonial magic perspective, you invoke all these elemental forces that we said, zodiacal, planetary, because you want to balance those around you. You want to recreate of how they were at the time that you were born, and you want to activate what they represent in a balanced way within yourself. Yes, because you are a reflection of the universe. You are a complete mirror of the universe. You are a mirror of each other. I'm a reflection of all of you. You're a reflection of me. We reflect towards each other. We're all connected. So you're a mirror of the universe. You're invoking all these things to be activated in a very balanced way within your own sphere of sensation, within your own aura.
And they all.
Because right now,
Sorry. I was gonna keep going. Sorry.
Because right now they just exist. They just pulling you right to left. Yes. So you try to balance this, awaken them, balance them, and be part of what they represent, those forces that they represent. Awaken those within you. Same with elementals, same with zodiacals. So your whole universe now has been recreated from a new perspective. This is called the work of necessity in ceremonial magic. It's something which is necessary to be done in order to become free. In the same time, all these invocations, because you invoke energy. Yes, I'm not actually invoking a Taurus in my room. I invoke I invoke the energy that's associated with Taurus, the signature of Taurus. Yes, or of a specific angel, whatever that might be. So in the same time, while you keep invoking, because invoking means bringing to you, when you're invoking, you are building your own body of light. Slowly, you're increasing your own energetic frequency, and your energy becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. It's what we call the body of light. You have your physical body, and you have your body of light, your astral self, etheric self, however you want to name it. We're not going to go into much detail about that tonight. So as this becomes stronger and gets purified and consecrated every time, every single time, purify, consecrate, and you go from layer at a time. Now, it depends if you're doing this for a spiritual development and you want to connect with your holy guardian angel. Now, this connection is able to happen because you have prepared your own temple. You have prepared your body for this connection to happen. Make sense?
Yeah.
So this is, if you're looking into orders, this is the main thing. Usually orders are separate to outer order and inner order. The work of the outer order is to prepare you for that function.
Okay. And all these forces have like a specific design. So when you're drawing in these forces, they actually have a specific like duty or like job or like thing you want to assign them to when you're using them, correct? So it's not like we just have all these forces. Like you have force for Jupiter if you want to do X, right? Or you have Mars if
Correct.
you want to do Y.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, if you want more expansion in your life, if you want to be a bit more merciful, if you want to attract more divine love, then you're gonna invoke Jupiter. If you want to associate more with desire and more sexual love and sexual instincts and intuition, you might want to invoke Venus. If you want to deal with healing, you might want to invoke the Sun. If you want to deal something of an intellectual nature, you might want to invoke Mercury, and so on and so forth. The same thing applies with the elements, with the 4 gross elements.
Yeah. And what are their uses? Just so we can clarify, what are the various uses of the elements?
So there are 2 ways you can use the element. One is through the elementals themselves, undine, sylphs, gnomes, and salamanders, or with the force of that specific element. So if you have, for example, let's say, if you want to work something intellectual, then you're going to work with the element of air. Yeah. If you want something more about passion and something more fiery, or you're being aggressive and you want to balance that aspect of yourself, you don't want to be aggressive anymore, you might want to invoke fire to balance that aspect. Yeah, because aggression will corresponds to fire. So you still have to invoke fire into you so it can be balanced. Yeah. Same thing with the zodiacs. All the zodiacs have specific attributes. So it depends whatever you want to do for you to develop spiritually, or even to invoke them because you do want to manifest something in your life. For example, if I want to manifest a better economic career, I will invoke Taurus.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to sit my ass on the couch and wait for money to jump in. I have to do something. Yes?
Yeah.
So I have my attention, and then which I activate with my emotion. I really need to find a job. I really need to have a better financial career. I'm going out there. I'm doing my thing. I just need a little boost. I need something to help me. So you know what? I'm going to invoke Taurus. Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm dealing with aggression. I'm dealing with anger. All these are attributes of Venus. Yes? Venus represents also fire in Sephira Netzach on the Tree of Life. So I'm going to invoke the forces opposite from Venus, Mars, to balance that. So it all depends on what you want to do. You balance every time you balance, because like we said at the beginning, it's always an exchange of energy. Yeah. It's 2 pillars. One pillar has to balance the other.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. What else?
Did you want to get into theurgy a little bit?
So theurgy. So like I said earlier, there are different forms, different levels of magic. You have low magic, usually when you use your own energy. You have a little bit higher magic, such as ceremonial magic. That's where you're becoming one with the universe. You acknowledge your position to the universe. And by doing that, you have command. You can command any other force because you're proclaiming yourself to be higher than any other force. And you have theurgy. Theurgy actually is pretty much almost what we're talking so far. Theurgy has to do 100% with emotion. So if you see a ceremonial magician using astral energy versus theurgy doing God's work, yes, you're going to see with the one person to be acting super dramatic and super emotional. Yes, this is the person that has the possibilities to unlock higher force of magic and higher manifestation. Yes, instead of going through a script and reciting the words and just having a basic intention, you're actually really getting into it.
Yeah.
Theurgy is a Greek word and it means God's work. Yes, we're doing God's work. We're doing the divine work. Usually theurgy associated with angelic magic, clipothic magic, or in other words, demonic magic. Yeah, and all these can be used for manifestation. It all depends what your goals is as a person. Do you want to invoke forces to command them to do something for you, or do you want to invoke forces to understand aspects of yourself? If we talk about Goetia, which is demonic invocations, there are two ways that this can be approached. One is to invoke a demon, bind the demon to do your bidding, or you evoke. Yes, we don't invoke now. We evoke because this is a part of you. So when we evoke, we bring something from outside of us and it's projected right in front of us. So if we're doing for a spiritual development to deal with our demons, yes,
Yeah.
that's where we evoke the demons out of us. We bind them, and we deal with what we see. Hey, if you are pathological jealous, well, this is manifesting as a demon in front of you, and you have to deal with that issue.
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning, magic is psychology. It's just more fun doing psychology with it instead of just sitting on a couch talking to a therapist.
Yeah.
So you evoke that demon, you deal with your own demons to spiritually advance, or if you see it from a demon perspective, you send that demon to do something for you, to do your own bidding. Guys, is very
real quick. So what you just touched on is very similar to what Lee touched on in the last episode. So when Lee was touching on like the subconscious prejudices of people and about racism and all this stuff that people don't tell anybody, they don't show anybody, it's just like hidden and they're friendly to your face. These are the things you're talking about, right? These kind of
these
things.
are your demons.
Yeah, so nobody really likes to talk about it, but they're inside of you. And
absolutely,
when you're talking about is bringing them out and then banishing them. That way you don't have them.
Exactly. Acknowledge your own demon. Learn the lesson you need to learn, and purify it so it can be gone.
Okay.
If you have anger issues, yes, if we're talking from a psychology perspective, you talk about what makes you angry, what pushes your buttons. Okay, how can we change that? If you're looking from magic, you invoke always the opposite of what creates anger in order to balance it out.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So you can diminish it.
Okay, that's perfect.
So again, you have magic as manifestation. You have magic as spiritual development. It all depends on what the person wants. Other forms of theurgical systems, you have Enochian magic. It was developed by John Dee and Kelly, but in the Victorian age. It was communicated through to Kelly that he was the channeler, and John Dee was doing the invocations. So one was doing the invocations, and the other was more empathic. Yeah. So he was able to communicate with those spirits, angels, however you want to call it. Enochian magic is easy to work with, and it's very effective. And again, you can use those angels for a purpose, for healing, for medicine, to make a change in your life. And every time you do magic or invocations, there are two ways of accessing that plane. One is you invoke, it comes to you, and it gets filtered, the energy is getting filtered to manifest, yes, into your room. So you don't really get the purest form. And then the other way is you transcending that force. You can do that either by astral projection or by scrying or whatever method you choose. When you scry on your astral projection to, let's say I invoke the Archangel Michael. I invoke because I want the forces that he represents into my sphere of sensation. I need that. But if I want to learn more about the plane of that Archangel, it's like, hey, I want to come and see where you live. Yes?
Yeah.
I want to see your house. I want to see what's going on. Then I will astral project or I'll do a scrying. So that will allow me to transcend and me rise to the level of the archangel or the force in question, and I'm going to be able to investigate the plane that they live. So that will allow me to find more about that force and what it's all about. I'm going to be able to have a more first-hand conversation or investigation of that force and what that force can do for me, how that can be helpful to me. And then I'm coming back, I'm writing my notes. So if I'm doing something for healing, I'm going to invoke archangels for healing, such as Raphael. I'm going to invoke because I need the healing energy it represents. Then I want to know more about that plane. Then I'm going to rise through the planes and I'm going to transcend into the plane of the archangel Raphael. I'm going to see how the plane looks. I'm going to see different entities. I have to test those entities because some of them might be evil or tricky. So I have to test all these things to make sure my vision is correct and it's not just an illusion or a play of my mind. And then I'm learning a lot from that plane. I might receive an initiation or energetic transmission or whatever that might be that can help me on my mission for the reason I'm doing that. So usually when we talk about theurgy, we talk about higher planes, working with higher planes and entities, yes, such as angels, archangels, and so on and so forth. And also the intention is way more emotional, the way things are being attracted.
Okay, I see.
For you to attract or manifest and so on and so forth.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alchemy is also a form of theurgy.
Yeah.
Yes. In alchemy, you have the three elements. You have salt, sulfur, mercury, and sulfur. Yes, body, mind, and spirit, or body, soul, and spirit. And that's another way of seeing spiritual development, because your body, in alchemical terms, is your prima materia. It includes within you the mercury and the sulfur. Now, you need to extract the pure from the impure. So if you consider our body impure at the moment, not evil, but impure, you extract sulfur and mercury, your spirit and your soul. Now, once you do that, you purify those, all these three distinct elements, you purify them. Then you put them all back together. And now you have what we call the philosophical mercury or the philosopher's stone. Because that it's all about purification, guys, and consecration. The more you do it, the more aware you become of higher things, higher frequency things, of who you are in relation to the universe. And once you realize that, it's an experience you will never forget. Like people, if you don't have anyone to talk about it, you can even get psychotic because it's so amazing.
Yeah, and some people even jump into these experiences like completely unconsciously, and that's where you talk about psychotic. You know, they have some of these experiences and they don't have anybody to talk to about it, and nobody really knows what this stuff is.
Yeah, people have, and you need somebody who has gone through it to verify that this is an experience that you're going through. Because in the same time, we don't want to spoil it. Nobody can tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Because if we tell you, you will understand it. And it's like giving a diamond to a baby. The baby's like, oh, cool, throw it.
Yeah.
Yes, no value, they don't understand. So it's something you have to come to your own realization about that.
Yeah.
It's a realization. Is anybody else, like, does anyone want to cover something specific about magic or theurgy? We can talk about alchemy, Kabbalah, Enochian system, wherever you want.
Let's see who's all on. Let's see. Man, you know what? I mean, do you have any let's just I think, dude, brother, you did great, man. If you could just, do you have any tips for people beginning this type of research? Like, do you have any meditations people should start with, or any, like, how do you get involved in, like, the SRC, anything like that?
I'm very happy that I started with something safe as a teenager, doing energy work and investigate different religious traditions. because it kept me a little bit more focused in a very safe way. So safety is very, very important. Yeah, it's the number one thing. And there are a lot of crazy people out there, especially in that world. So you have to really be careful. So starting with energy work, meditation, contemplation, start understanding your own energy on your energy field. Um, Doing meditation is going to ground you and center you to have a better understanding of your own self. All these things are great start. If you're looking for something more ceremonial, if you're looking to get into orders, there are unlimited orders out there, magical orders. It all depends what you as an individual want to do. And sometimes you won't know until years later. You might have joined 100,000 orders and then you form your own path, and that's fine. If you want a Christian path, um, spiritual development through more specific Christianity, you might want to look into Martinism. In Houston, for example, we have OMS. It's called Order Martinist Sovereigns. If you want to get involved with a more Golden Dawn system, um, then in Houston there is a Sodaltas Rosa Crucis, which is the SRC. If you want to get involved with a Thelemic group from more of the Crowley side, there is the OTO in Austin. There is AA across the world. There are different systems. You just have to see what you really want. In SRC, for example, we're working the system of the Golden Dawn. It's in initiatory. I'm not going to go to much detail since that's not the subject for today, but it's an initiatory order.
Subject.
Yeah, okay. It's an initiatory order, and you receive initiation so you can boost your experiences in life. Yeah, so it makes you deal with things faster than we usually take lifetimes. Now you can do it in one lifetime. So you're learning about evocations. You're learning about magic, divination, scrying, astral projection, Enochian magic, the Qliphoth, Kabbalah, Greek mysteries, Egyptian mysteries. You name it, everything is in there. And the goal of the outer order is to come with to achieve union, knowledge, conversation with your holy guardian angel. The goal of the inner order is to understand the great mystery. The outer order is all the lesser mysteries, but your goal as a person when you become an adept is to understand the great mystery. The mystery that cannot be transmitted, written, or orally. Is your own self-awareness and realization where you stand in relation to the universe. It's what we call the one and true initiation that no person can give you.
Ah, that's cool.
But again, first in the outer order, we go through learning about magic, about ceremonial magic, about purifying ourselves, working with the microcosm and the macrocosm through pentagrams, hexagrams, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
That way, because again, we are a mirror of the universe. We are the macrocosm. The universe is the macrocosm. We're a reflection of that. So we're trying to balance our microcosm and the force that we reflect from the macrocosm. Through that union is where we realize the one and true mystery, which is called the royal secret, the philosopher's stone, the true initiation, whatever names you want to give it. Adrian, what's your question?
What's that one? All right, let's see. We got some questions on here. Lita said, what is the most significant communication do you remember in relation to your transcending or learned?
What was, say it again? I don't see the question.
What was the most significant communication do you remember in relation to your transcending? So in your space travels, what was your most significant communication?
God, there's so many, like with scrying and astral projection, because it's part of our training. Like for one of the grades, in order to advance to the next grade, I had to do, I don't have a calculator, 16 times 4, how much is that? 32, 64. I had to do 64 invocations and astral projections with Enochian archangels. It was for healing. It was for a personal purpose. and I received a lot of spiritual guidance. I received a lot of energetical attunements or initiations, however you want to name it. And at the end of the day, actually, I got out what I wanted to get out.
All right.
So working with the Nokian system is very substantial, and you're going to see other people working with the Nokian system is very, it works very easy.
And see, and Adrian said something. Said, "What's that one? Something about an order, initiate, or something like that."
Oh, we're talking about.
Well, I'm still on. I don't know what happened. Maybe that's a secret that wasn't supposed to be told. Everything just cut off. Oh man. Can you still see it on your phone? Are we still live?
He is out.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going. That's
Alright.
crazy.
Alright. Let me see if I can add him back in. Finish it up. Well, sorry, Adrian, you got left hanging, brother. Sorry, bro. Alright, Alex, you're back. Alright, that's so funny. Alright, let me see if I can add you back in. Alright, Alex. Alex. Oh, it's not letting me add him now. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Alex. I can't add you back in, man. It's not letting me add you. Oh. Damn live videos. Alright. Well, it's cool. We'll just end this off, guys. I mean, I think that was a lot of information. What did you guys think about all that? Give me a heart at the bottom if you like that presentation, because that dude is on fire, man. I freaking love that guy. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys. All right, you guys. Have a good night. We're about to smoke a blunt. Peace out.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.